Hey, you guys have seen my friend Curt on here before. Welcome back, Curt.
Thank you. Good to be here.
What we're going to do is we're going to put third function kits on his tractor and my tractor. We have tractors that are very similar. We thought they were nearly identical, in fact. We'll know more about that as we tear them down. Curt's got the B2650. I've got the LX3310, which is supposed to only vary an engine between these two machines. The LX is a little bit newer, but it's really mainly just an engine upgrade, I think. We're going to do the third functions today. Let's get started. Curt, I'm not sure that we got the same kit. I thought we would have exactly the same kit.
Well, I can tell you we don't have the same kit. I've noticed a few differences right away. One, your brackets are orange, mine are black, so I'm a little envious. And your control knob is a little bit nicer.
My kit says is Kubota. In fact, it uses the loader instruction manual for how to install it.
Okay,
your instructions?
It's from Land Pride.
Land Pride?
Yeah, so my kit came from Land Pride. It's, I guess, a comparison of aftermarket versus a factory kit.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of fascinating here. We don't know if the Land Pride kit's the only thing available on the 26. We don't.
Yeah, it's the kit they sell at Messick's. So.
We both ordered these from Messick's.com. Great place to order your parts. You got a hat.
I did. I asked them if they would maybe consider giving me a discount because we were talking about maybe shooting this video together, and they said, no, sorry, we're not offering any coupon codes, but maybe I can send you a free hat. So they actually did. So,
I don't even have a Messick's hat.
And you bought a tractor.
You bought a tractor. I bought a kit. And I bought a couple of other things, but really nice hat. Kubota, Messick's.
Come on, Neil.
Step one is to mount the valve support bracket to the loader frame.
Okay. Is that this wimpy black one?
It's that super robust black bracket that will stand out in contrast to my beautiful orange machine. Yeah, that definitely moved it. Now it's out. That did it. Just had to break it loose. It says to locate and remove the steel tube that is connected to the Power Beyond port.
Okay.
So it says to tighten this and then replace the seat stud.
Okay, so you'll want that elbow point in the direction you want it, and then we'll tighten it with the nut below it there, see?
Yes.
That's what tightens.
Install the larger hydraulic adapter, number 10, into the Power Beyond port on the loader valve at 9/16 elbow to adapter.
Grab it, hold it up right
Got
there.
it.
You need a creeper?
I'm okay.
Not used to working with a camera right in your face, are you?
Not at all. And it says to put my seat stud back together.
What we've done so far is put in these hoses from the pressure side and the tank side to run up here. The actual third function kit's going to be mounted up on the loader bracket. We've essentially got a pressure side here and a return to tank. Really nothing too difficult there. We did take the seat off. Of course, we took the rear tire off. It really helps to take a rear tire off for a lot of projects on a little tractor.
I was leery about doing that though because our tires are both filled.
Yeah.
So with ballast. So
yeah. Well,
I've never had my wheels off before.
We'll worry about that when we go to put it back on. Really, the fluid doesn't bother much as long as you can keep it standing up. If you ever let it get laid down, it's hard to lift it up. But if you can keep it standing, notice that we've got them stood up here.
Yeah.
Then the other challenging point is to get them back on these studs. That's a challenge. But okay, what's the next step here?
Let's see. The next step I think is the electrical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, control lever assembly.
Okay, so that's up here. We have to take this knob off probably, right?
Yep, take that knob off, I'll grab the new one. So that's something that surprised me. This actually instructs you to face the buttons toward the operator. I think I would have been inclined to do it the other direction.
Oh, really? Right this way is the way you want it, because your thumb.
That makes
you run them
sense.
with your thumb. They're just little studs here without any head on them. We have ran out of instructions before we ran out of parts. There are no detailed instructions, no instructions at all about how to put this valve on. So I think we're going to have to wing it a little bit. We don't know that it'll be that difficult. what it does is it shows these coming in from the side. We may just have to worry about routing them after we're done here. I believe I would have felt more comfortable if this were a 45 here or 90.
I think I agree.
But I think we'll be able to tie them up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
Gotta take that plug out.
There's a cap in there, yeah.
These look like ISO-A. These are, and they're 1/2-inch couplers. It's interesting. Lampride here didn't care at all about compatibility with the existing loader outlets, see, because they don't have the same couplers as on the tractor. I guess I should have just went forth and put the females on the. So there's a good reason to have the females on the tractor side, and that is that the loader lines can accumulate pressure, right? If, let's say you park your loader outside, you release all the pressure like we did here, but the temperature changes tomorrow, there'll be pressure on those lines.
Okay.
Well, on the female side, it's very difficult to release pressure. On the male side, the weight tool that you've seen us show can punch that down.
Okay.
But on the female side, you don't have any equivalent tool to do that. So you have no choice but to break the connection, right? Let drain the pressure off. The power turned out to be kind of a roll your own on this. We didn't even have enough wire to make it all the way to the battery. So we didn't have any instruction, of course. So it was kind of left to us. A little disappointing. So far, the Lampride kit has not been impressive. It's felt like a third-party kit rather than, you know, an OEM kit, something made by the manufacturer to be, you know, well integrated. But we just ran straight to the battery here. We don't even have a ground wire. We have only the power wire. I guess they're assuming that it's going to ground with the loader mast there. We better hope it does.
Bring it on down around the bottom here.
Okay, good.
Oh, it's easy to clean up. That's pretty solid. We need to tighten these up. You can hear it opening.
Hey, I think I hear it.
Yeah, I can hear the solenoid.
Yeah, that's good news. One test complete.
Yeah.
So electrical, check. Now we need to do hydraulics. I'd like to start it before we put anything back together. That way we can
I think it's safe that way, yeah.
Okay.
I don't see any fresh fluid.
Okay, we good so far?
I don't see anything leaking, yeah.
Okay, step back, here goes. Okay, well that's putting pressure on it. I didn't see any evidence of any leakage.
Nope, looks like we got it tight.
I noticed this ball went up.
I didn't notice that.
When I first did it. Okay, let's see it go.
It works. And I can still do my other loader functions at the same time that's running, right? Whoop, sorry about that. That's pretty neat.
I'd say we have success.
I'd say so.
I didn't see any leaks. You know, it was my intention to finish the 3310 tonight too, but because these kits are so different, this wasn't a learn once and do it twice project, and that's
Definitely
what we really
not.
expected.
Yeah, I was thinking we'd be able to go kind of step by step. There'd be some subtle differences, but no, we pretty quickly learned the kits are completely different.
Given how late we started, I think we just decided to finish your tractor and leave mine in a state of disrepair with no seat even.
No wheel either.
Well, we're back here on another day. Got a little rest under our belt and gonna now start working on my tractor. I begged Curt to come back, even though it's a 2-hour drive. I'm kind of appreciative that you came all the way back, Curt.
No worries,
to finish this
man.
off. You know, one reason he came back is because one time he came up here and did a bunch of weightlifting, and then it didn't work out for us, and he didn't even get included in the video. So he knows that he's got to stay to the end, don't you?
Here for the fame and fortune, Tim.
So we're going to start here on the tractor side, on my tractor. Notice the orange instead of the black. Okay, valve is next.
Okay.
And I got these 2 bolts here. I'll let you work on that. I'm going to start to look at this Power Beyond, make sure I can understand how that's going to work. Now we've got a Power Beyond on this system. It was put on by Messick, so I'm not sure all of it is factory per se, but it is going to change up our install just a little bit. I'll try to make sure I understand this. The original tractor plumbing is exactly like it was on Curt's tractor.
Just so everybody knows, this is the coolness going on here.
Well, that was just not wanting to start.
Don't booger it up. You're wanting to get it so that you get my nice orange bracket, aren't you?
You're on to me. So I got my lines all buttoned up last night with zip ties, and the way the supply lines, or the way the lines to the Power Beyond connect to my valve, they hang down about as low as the loader frame. So it looks kind of vulnerable. I'm not sure how well that'll wear over time.
It looked to me like we might be able to zip tie them up a little bit higher than that.
I've got them up about as high as they'll go. They're still hanging down quite a bit though, so I might put some elbows or 45s on there. Looks like this one's gonna carry the lines a little higher.
This is the pressure side because it comes out of the side of the transmission. This is the return side because it actually fills it and dumps into the top of the reservoir. We've connected the hoses. This is very similar to how we did it on Curt's. We have these hoses that go from the pressure and the tank here to the inlet and outlet there. I've had to disconnect my Power Beyond kit for a while here, so these hoses, I could just take them out, I guess. I might just be able to leave them hanging there, but I didn't have exactly the right fittings to connect the Power Beyond. All you have to do is connect it in series, and it's just that I have a female to female here of a certain, I think it's a JIC fitting, 1/4 inch JIC I think, but I'll have to get that resolved, and then I can get the Power Beyond back in the circuit. But this should be good for now. Maybe I'll zip tie that up a little bit and we'll move on to the next step. I'm not sure where the factory third function on the 2038R resides, but on the 1025R it resides under the center of the tractor. It's way up there. Operationally it's very protected. At install time it's kind of a pain because you have to put it way up in there, but both of these, Curt, are pretty exposed compared to something that's mounted up under the frame. So now one thing, you know, we talked about how there's a little bit more protection on this one, but I do notice that the connector hoses are out here, whereas yours were right on top, a little bit more on top, a little bit more inside. Okay, but I think we've got this part of it complete, at least for now.
We're definitely diving deeper into your machine than we did mine. Doesn't look like this is gonna work. I should just take it home.
Afraid we got a little buyer's remorse going on.
No. Just jealous of your lever. That's
You love
nice.
that word, don't you?
I do.
We got this off by, once we had the nut loose here, we put the nut back on. And the reason we put the nut back on is because we don't want to be hammering on the head of the bolt. So I put the nut back on to where it was almost even with the top of the bolt. And we both pulled up like this while we tapped downward here. And that allowed it to break loose. And once it broke loose, then we were fine. So I'll take that nut off and lift it right off. We have to take this whole cowling off, so, or at least loose.
How high do you need it?
That's fine.
Well, I'll put it on your...
Oh, you mean it doesn't have a little air shock in there to hold it up?
No air springs.
Look at that. So that's going to go right there and right there.
That's brilliant. So it connects
it
there and
tees
then
right
connects
in.
to where that went.
Now,
that's great.
We actually have to run the wire.
Really?
These go to here. I don't know where these go. Something has to go to the actual third function valve.
Oh. Right here. Okay.
So we've got to route this.
2 different directions.
Okay, so I want to go right down through here. Am I too far to the front?
I'm there.
Okay. The yellow connector is the trick finding that yellow connector. And then you plug this in just to kind of tee that. The yellow used to plug into the black. You just put these two grays in there. Doesn't matter which one of these, they both behave the same way.
And they are the same connector.
How's that?
That's fine. And then I think we've got enough room to get back to the lever.
I hope so. I can go down right here.
That's a straighter shot. Yep. And then we'll zip tie this up to the hydraulic lines. There we go. Be better if it was orange, Tim.
You know, I don't know where you can buy orange zip ties.
I'm sure it's a thing. I'll have to Google it or DuckDuckGo it.
Maybe you can get orange zip ties at Messics.com.
I don't know.
If you need another one, I'll get you another one.
This is plenty. I just wanted to get it away from this lever, this rod.
You like that? That's a new word.
It's not new, it's just wrong.
I like it. I think having fixed harnesses with plugs already on them really makes electric routing easier.
Yeah. And when your brain works and you think, oh, something needs to connect to the valve.
Yeah. I think it's going to be more reliable too.
Makes sense, yeah.
Right? Those connections that we made on yours, it's entirely possible that they might, well,
they're weather resistant. We'll see how resistant to weather they are. Home. They've got green and black. We've got green and black.
And we got green and black.
Yeah. They made this for me. That's why I bought an orange tractor, Tim. I'm an idiot. Wait, those were my words.
Bought an orange tractor because you're an idiot. That's kind of my feeling too.
Well, I mean, cut that.
This kit came with hard lines for the loader. It did not come with couplers. So, and I don't have couplers for these threads. I don't even know what threads these are. They're a real fine thread. They're not near as big as a pipe thread. So I've got to try to figure out how to get couplers. I'm not going to be able to actually test it functioning out here tonight. It looks like it's turned itself a little bit sideways. There it goes. We had to take the cylinder down to be able to get the hard lines tucked up in there. They tucked up in there really nicely.
They did.
We had a little difficulty.
Had to hold your tongue right.
Yeah. Well, anytime you're working with hard lines, it's really that way because they're all crooked. They got bends and turns in them, and it was hard to tell from the picture. I mean, the picture wasn't bad, but it was...
It was about a 10,000 foot view. I have eagle eyes, but they're old eagle eyes.
It was just black and white outlines, and it was really hard to tell what we were looking at there.
Good.
But once we got all the install done, these hard lines look really nice. They're wonderful, except right here.
Where they're outside the frame?
I just don't like them outside the frame. It seems to me like they could have just as easily crooked under here and been inside the frame.
Brought them right alongside the other four lines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it would have been cleaner. That's really my only complaint.
It's still a nice, clean installation. You've got hard lines for most of it, so I think from a durability standpoint, it's a pretty good solution.
Okay, Curt, we started with the valve assembly. Put the valve on the side of the loader. That was pretty much like yours.
Yep.
And then we had some hydraulic work to do to connect to the main hydraulic part of the tractor. A little bit different than yours because I already have a Power Beyond. We weren't able to get that connected perfectly because we didn't have exactly the right fittings. That's not a fault of the kit. Mm-hmm. That's just that we had a Messick Special Power Beyond, which used some custom fittings, and I'll be able to get the fittings to make that work. But the two of those would just plumb in series. There wouldn't be a problem as soon as I can get the appropriate adapters. Yep. Next part we did, electrical.
Yeah, and that was really digging into the console. It wasn't too complicated. Had to figure out how to route the harness, but once you realized, oh yeah, we need to connect to the third function, it was a breeze.
Yeah.
And you up top, me on the crawler, we had it done in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, and all those pre-wired connectors, very reliable. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Then we moved to the loader, and we had hard lines. We've discussed that. I think we kind of understand that pretty well, and it ends up a much better solution.
It's a really robust solution. Yeah, you've got hard lines all the way from the cross member back to here where you're not happy about it, but we cross to the outside of the loader on these flex lines. It's in a high visibility location. I think you'll be able to see it.
So your kit had regular hoses there, didn't have hard lines?
It's got flexible lines. I've got them zip tied up to this cylinder and the inside of the loader frame, and it's flexible lines the whole way.
And your kit, we had to run to the battery or fuse box ourselves.
And the wire was a little too short, so we had to splice on a little bit.
We had to come up with some wire.
And we had to do our own connections, which they're water resistant. We'll see how well it lasts.
Yeah, we did the heat shrink tape on them. We did the best we could, but I'm an amateur at doing wires, and so it's entirely possible one of those connectors will vibrate loose.
For sure.
You'll be right in the middle of something someday and push the button.
And no grippy.
Now, we're not exactly sure of the cost of this unit. I can't remember what I paid, and I couldn't find the receipt real quick.
I'm pretty sure mine was around $826, and I'm guessing this kit's probably a little bit more expensive. I think from a fit and finish standpoint, this is a better solution. If the cost is the same, I would go with this.
There are links in the description below to each of the two kits. If they're the same price, I vote Kubota.
I would go with Kubota as well.
If it's 50% more, 100% more, I'm certain the Land Pride will do the job and do it fine.
Absolutely. Functionally, I think they're comparable. I think there's some design elements here that make it a little bit more robust.
So 20% more, we'd probably both still stay with the Kubota brand over the Land Pride brand.
Yeah.
I think that may be one of the most useful aspects of this video, is to help someone decide which of those to choose. You can get either one of them at Messiks.com. Unfortunately, there's no coupon code TTWT.
That's too bad.
But you got a hat.
I forgot the hat. I would say I was in a little bit of a hurry to get here this afternoon because I was late getting out of the office, which is true, but the truth is I actually left it sitting on the breakfast bar, so my wife put it away, which means I may never see it again.
Folks, I hope you've enjoyed this. It was fun for us, and I appreciate you coming up, Curt.
No problem.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.